Alrighty, we are back in here for quarterfinals number 4, getting everything set up. I'm Colonel Cass. Joining me for this one, it's gonna be Mr. Spooky. How is it going?
Doing good, doing good. Just loading my game up as the shaders compile, so that's all I'm waiting on right now, but I'm excited.
As well, shaders compiling in this game takes us such an obnoxiously long time. It's genuinely so annoying. But anyway, how's your day been? You excited for some good old Marvel Rivals?
Yeah, I'm gonna be casting from now until 8 p.m., so I'm ready for it. I got everything good. I got everything rolling. At least at this point, all I'm waiting on are these shaders, like I said. But we're at 34%. We're rolling. We're steam rolling through it. Just waiting. But I'm excited to see these teams battle it out, see what they bring to the table here in quarters four.
Yeah, we have seen some of these teams are not on stream today, but yesterday, of course, had a couple of qualifying and/or placement matches. But this will be the last round of players going in for game number 1, or round number 1. As it'll be an interesting one. There are definitely some higher ranked players in this one, with a couple of GMs and diamonds spread around the pool. So definitely going to be an interesting one. Not to say that the other ones were not other matches weren't high quality, but definitely the highest average rank I believe is this lobby. Could be wrong on that. I obviously don't have a full math calculator to calculate everybody's average rank, but regardless, definitely going to be an interesting one here for quarterfinal number 4.
Yeah, we're at 62% now. I'm gonna keep this updated, keep this going. But yeah, personally, I am a diamond rank. I am a diamond Jeff main. I love me some Jeff. I I
Based.
have 30 hours on Jeff, a little more, not exactly, but I have Lord status on Jeff because he deserves nothing less.
Very based considering I am currently Diamond 3 and my all-time most played character is Jeff with 4 more hours than any other character. I haven't gotten that much Jeff time. Everybody's playing support these days in comp. I can't play my characters. I don't want to have a fit support. It's so annoying. I have too many healers. Season 0, you couldn't find a healer. Season 1, you can't find anything but healers. As we will get on for the moment, but anything you're looking forward to or expecting this match?
Um, I hope to see a Jeff. I always hope to see a Jeff, no
Of
matter what
course.
game I'm in. But I don't know. I want to see a solid game. I want to see just even teams here. You don't really like to see teams get smashed. It's much better when they're even. I'm hoping to see that this game. I've been keeping track. It's been relatively 2-0, 2-0, 2-0 in
Yeah.
the past. I'm hoping to see something closer to like a 2-1. That'd be nice. Just keep it going for a little while longer.
As yeah, will be interesting to see. Say I have the match this is pulled up. So from yesterday in the prelims, round 1 was all 2-0. Round 2 there was a 2-0 and FF, and 2 of those series went to game number 3. Then the third round was a set of 2-0s as well. So we've seen 2 series go to game number 3 out of the, what, 4, 7, 10, 13 that we've seen so far. So we'll have to keep an eye out on if we can find our third match in a game going to game 3, or if we can't get our first on-stream match to that point. Obviously, if it doesn't happen this round, it is guaranteed to happen next round as we move over to the BO5 format, and we're gonna play at least 3 games no matter what, even if it is still a clean sweep. But getting ready to start these games, any predicted pocket picks, anything fun? Obviously, you mentioned the Jeff, but what else are you feeling on the realm of odd characters that we might see? I know we had the Scarlet Witch last match.
Okay, well, on Yxgard specifically, depending on what point they get first, I'm kind of expecting to see something more, kind of in your face, a little bit less of a poke comp, and probably something closer to like, a Hulk or a Thor is usually what I see on Royal Palace. sometimes you'll see something like, let's see, you could have a Punisher just kind of rolling only shotgun. I've seen that a lot on here. Maybe a Magic. Penny probably not so much, mainly just because there's not really a good place to put her spiders, other than just like throwing them on the ground and hoping they walk into them. But there's not like a pillar you can hide it behind because the domination maps are just so much like open space.
As yeah, one other thing I do think is interesting, no, obviously, is that the entirety, I think it was said, of LG is playing on either a PlayStation console or an Xbox console. As is worth noting, in competitive and Marvel Rivals, I don't believe you can cross-play PC to a console for skill disparity or reasons of aiming with a mouse and keyboard. But of course, in tournament play and competitions, there is no such metrics. But we're getting things going. Round one of bands is going to be the Loki banned away by the side of Hulk Tuah, with the Winter Soldier banned away by the LG squad.
Yeah, and currently what I'm seeing is all of them just kind of locking Jeff. They're soft picking Jeff, which I'm very happy to see that. I know they all can't play Jeff. I wish they could. That'd be the best team comp personally. I don't think you could lose. You'd have 6 Jeff ults. You get 1 Jeff per enemy team. So you run up, you get your Jeff ult, you get the Bucky, and then the 5 other players all go for an individual person and then jump off the map. But there we go. We're seeing some picks here. Rocket is safeguarded, so is Penny, and then the Star-Lord gets banned as well as the Bruce Banner. So we're not going to see anything in terms of a Bruce Banner and an Iron Man, but nothing along the lines of that. So keeping the ranks going clean here. But as they kind of slowly start to pick here, we do see a Penny as well as a Groot. Looks like there's a Cloak and a Namor. And then the 2 supports seem to be, there we go, Mantis and Invisible Woman. And then on the other side there, we see a Punisher, like I said, Luna Snow, a Groot and a Strange, and then a Moon Knight and a Rocket.
And yeah, I think LG are actually really happy with how that ban phase went. Looking through what I have for their players, these are all characters that all of them, based on their match history, like playing quite a lot. I don't have Luna for Ghost 6 written down, but everybody else is seemingly perfectly fine on their characters. As Dinglenut, especially, he has a very large experience on Penny, frequency the same on Groot, so definitely looking forward to seeing how these blue side tanks perform this game. On the other side, still a very competent comp. Obviously, that some of the bans there hurt them quite a bit. The Winter Soldier, definitely one prickly pear, seems to favor quite a bit, but getting things started. Map 1, round number 1 here in the final quarterfinal of the Ultralight Ascension competition, as we're getting things going already. Penny jumping down to the point. It'll be Dinglenut, the first one to make contact, as the mine box will go down, getting mines ready and stacked up as they can. As we'll see for the moment, the side of LG holding on the point, their opposition on top. Moon Knight jumps down. They will find the first pick. Prickly Pear takes down the Mantis. And while they do have 3 healers, missing out on 1 certainly isn't going to help them by any means. As Punisher looking for as much damage as they can, just trying to spray as much gunfire in. Dinglenut and Vicline both get taken low, but the Cloak healing going to keep them up for the moment. Psyche, though, going to get the kill onto Namor. Not able to get much going. Doctor Strange jumps back up to safety. Budanari gets the kill onto Dinglenut. And that's a clean fight. They got the high ground and took that one there, as the side of Hulk Tuah going to take this first fight.
Yeah, that was not necessarily the smartest play in terms of sticking on the low ground, especially with a Moon Knight. They were all kind of grouped up, just allowed the Moon Knight to throw down his Ankh and get as much pick damage as he wanted, really. The Doctor Strange almost went down by the Groot. He kind of got trapped by the wall, and he got stuck by the Penny, but he just got out-healed and was able to get back to his team. They're going to go for the low ground again here, but out comes the Judge Jury Executioner. Going to try and sit on point here, try to take him out as much as possible, try to put the walls in his face. They do end up getting two. Both DPS go down. Dr. Strange is low as well. He goes down. Moon Knight does get rezzed in the background, but it doesn't seem like that's going to matter as they control the point once again here. Groot ends up getting his ult. And yeah, they're going to have to back up, make some plays here. Groot now just going to get a little bit of a setup going. But not a bad repush onto point there. They kind of ended up taking them out one by one, got them separated by their team, and then at that point, all the supports were gone, and in the back line, and all of them just had to really just reset.
As, yeah, ult charge-wise, this is looking very good for the side of LG. They're holding on to most of them, as we will see them start to come out. Namor ult into the Groot wall is going to get a little bit of stuns coming up. Luna Snow ult going to come out for them, as they are investing very heavily into this fight. The opposition, though, they farmed up quite a couple ults. Now they're going to drop two Moon Knight ult and a Groot ult. They're going to kill 1, 2, 3. Groot picks up a fourth. The Luna Snow ult. Not enough healing to get through that one, as on point, Penny trying to hold it down is going to go ahead and drop the Spider Sweeper here, buying some time, getting a little bit of damage, is finally going to go down. They do get up to 49% before losing it, as the opposition just now going to pass that mark of 40.
Yeah, that definitely one of the best combos in the game. Going down that Groot ult in a big cluster of the enemy and then just throwing down Moon Knight right on top of them. Even with the Luna Snow ult kind of healing them up, it can actually out-damage and secure those kills regardless of what happens. But I say this, and then Judge Jury Executioner comes out again, but the Moon Knight shuts it down this time. They're going to try and focus onto the point of the Luna Snow ults, trying to hold down the damage as much as possible, keep them healed up. Seeing the health relatively stayed near the same. Only ult to their name is Rocket, but Rocket does end up getting taken down. Moon Knight has his again. Possibly could save it, but no, ends up using it, gets one.
Wow, the Moon Knight ult.
Out of support now.
Moon Knight ult already back up to the side of Psyche, dumps it down, gets a good bit of damage. Not going to get much killed. They will kill Frequency as Cloak and Dagger ult comes out from Vickley, and they're just trying to keep control of this point. Punisher turret spraying on in, but the Cloak and Dagger healing, it's just too much inside of the ult, as they will be able to force Punisher out of the turret, as Jesus going to go down on the point on the Doctor Strange. 97% is what that side will get it to, but LG able to reclaim it now. Again, just passing that halfway mark for the moment, as they currently sit on 2 ults with 3 more past 70 to 90%. On the other side, 3 ults up as well, both tanks and the rocket amplification, as Moon Knight looking for a little bit of damage, will land some good on Frequency, but the ults continuing to be farmed up. Psyche already back at 90%. Punisher has that ult at 90. Agamotto comes out backline. Luna Snow ult's going to come to counter it, as despite it being a good Doctor Strange ult, the double support ult comes out. Groot ult hits 4, they're spamming damage in. Rocket layering it in. Hand of Khonshu from Mad Dog picks up 4, and they pass the 80% mark in beautiful success.
Yeah, they've got a lot working for them right here, especially with that Moon Knight ult. That was absolutely insane. At this point, the group is going to try and shut them down as much as possible, but here comes the Doctor Strange portal back on the side as fast as possible here. Out comes the Khonshu once again. Doesn't end up getting anybody here, but they're just going to try and find a point as long as possible, keep this down as long as they can. Groot gets 1, Penny gets another, Penny gets 2, Moon Knight secures a 3rd, Groot gets the 5th, and then now it's literally just Moon Knight up on the high ground. Looks like this first round is going to go to Frequency's team there. Well played. Odin's Archive secured now onto the Bifrost Garden.
And yeah, really disastrous for them there. The Penny ult got so much damage. They were grouping up, so every mine was comboing onto 3, maybe 4 people. And eventually the Groot walls slapped around. I know they killed the rocket. They killed those light targets very quickly. And at that point, once you've lost your healers on the back line, it can get very difficult to keep stacking up, but lost out on those players. The Penny ult and the Moon Knight bounces ripped away those last few low HP players, as that will be round number 1 here on the first map. Definitely a much slower pace, or much more static pace than we've seen compared to the fast flowing 2-0s of the past, so it'll be interesting to see how far the series can go.
3, 2, 1.
That was indeed well played. We're going to see what happens now. We do see, instead of a Groot, We're seeing a Magneto on the other team there, as well as a Storm. Storm switched off from, I believe, Moon Knight, and instead of a Punisher, we're seeing a Squirrel Girl. Not much has changed in terms of the team of Frequency there, but as they get onto point here, they're going to try and battle this out, see what they can do. Magneto's shield goes up. Penny is already low, and she goes down really early into this fight. So does the Moon Knight, and at this point, it's just the 4 remaining members of that team there. They're going to get pushed back. Going to have to reset here. Groot's really low, but kept up by his supports here. They're just kind of pushing forward, holding W at this point. See what they can do. See if they can stagger them a little bit more. They're going to have to back up. Gets behind the Groot wall. Groot does end up getting his ult. Here comes the Squirrel Girl ult. Possibly a Groot ult. Yep, stuck a majority of them in there. Gonna see if they can't shut them down. They do get whooped. Luna's ult was blocked off by the Groot wall. Wasn't able to secure the storm there. See what they can do.
Yeah, oh, Doctor Strange comes out. It's going to go for 3. Go 6 in the back line, though. Good job staying stable. I don't like the stacking of the double support ults, but regardless, we will see several getting burned out here. Storm ult available, Namor ult available. Namor ult is going to go in. It gets the stun for 1, kill for 1, and they will be able to find 3 off of it, as it will be a clean sweep. Nice Namor ult by Mad Dog to pick up some stuns as the support ults run out, and with 2 or 3 stunned and another dead, it is a very clean end to the fight for the side of LG. So while they collect the point, it is worth noting that the opposition members on Hulk Tuah did get the point during the first fight, so they do already have 40% banked up.
Storm ult gonna come out. They need to separate here if you can get on the point with it. The Namor goes up in the air. Storm ult goes behind them. Goes up, does get the Mantis. Groot ult is possible to be used here. Same with the Penny ult. Going a little bit low here. Magneto could possibly send his. There it goes, up into the air.
Moon Knight ult on the backline, able actually to kill Vickley. Mag Dog went down as well. Frequency, though, able to pick up 2. Dingle now going to go down to the Storm's Frequency, getting bled away while being healed up by Ghost 6. This is Luna trying to keep that Groot alive, anything it takes, but being forced away by Budanari. Still, really good job with the piercing there on the Luna Snow. The Ice Arts able to get that Groot alive. Magneto trying to shield away the healing, but Frequency will not fall as Penny Sweeper comes on in onto the backline. Now Cloak and Dagger ult by Kingheart, trying to keep everything on the point alive, as now the remainder of the team gonna arrive as well. Hulk Tuah trying to fight it out, but don't really have any ults to work with. Luna Snow ult available, but Luna's gone down, as on the other side, Ghost 6 still has that ult, just now got it on that Luna Mantis ult up soon. Namor ult up very soon, but they aren't gonna need them. They kill Jesus, and while Prickly Pear is able to get 1, Cloak and Dagger gonna go down. Supports are traded out, and it looks like they will suffer no punishment for the loss of their Luna, as ults available still. They have a Namor ult to try and spell out the final 10%. Storm ult comes out from Prickly Pear. We'll see where they end up landing it now. Just gonna go on point, try to cause some chaos as Doctor Strange ult Agamotto comes out, hits Frequency, but Luna's Snow ult to keep everybody alive. They get away from the Moon Knight ult. Hand of Khonshu gonna find little value. Frequency goes down. Namor ult hits big on the back line, but they're not gonna get bled away quite yet. Luna's Snow ult from Fireball coming out on the point now. Groot Wall trying to knock away the healers, keep everybody away, but Mad Dog and Vickley gonna be able to regroup with the team as they walk on it through. Little Godwin picks up 1, Frequency picks up 1, Storm and Cloak go down, Fireball goes down, they trade it back for the Cloak and Dagger. Groot goes down, Jesus versus 5, he will go down. Psyche swaps to the Psylocke, but once again, too little, too late, and it is a 2-0 on map 1 for LG.
Yeah, that was played very well. It was very chaotic, though, in the middle of that. We were looking out for a little bit of just kind of a heal off at that point. We saw the Luna Snow ult come out, hold them down for as long as possible. Once it ran out, though, they were kind of just outmatched. They just kind of ran over them. The Groot walls were getting in the way of the heals, and then everybody was just kind of collapsing in on one player or another, shut them down, kept them away from their healers, kept them at low health, secured as many kills as they could, and just ended up securing that point and securing them that game. It worked very well in their favor, and that's kind of what we wanted to see from that. You kind of want to play as a team, and what was happening with Hulk 2 was just they kept getting secured away from the rest of their team there, and it just ended up not working in their favor.
As yeah, definitely a lot of close moments in that set, but unfortunately, it continued to fall out of hand for the side of Hulk. Tuah had a lot of moments that looked good. We saw them get points. Like both of those points, they got to pretty high percents, but unfortunately for them, not able to close it all out in the end. As we will see. Moving on to game two, we're going to step on over to our next map. I believe we're making our way to Wakanda. Any expectations for this map?
Um, we're kind of gonna try and see. I mean, this is a little bit different. So we're going to Empire Wakanda. So a little bit different playstyle, a little bit different of a map. We'll see what happens. Although right now we are going to have to go ahead and throw to about a 2-minute break here. So we will see you shortly. See you for this map two. Of a possible 3, possible 2-0 coming in, possible 2-1. We will see what happens, but we will see you shortly.
Alrighty, we are back. Game number two on the final quarterfinal here in the Ultralight Ascension Marvel Rivals Tournament. As we are getting our map ready to go, getting it started in about 1 or 2 minutes here. But as you were talking, give us some predictions. I know you talked a little bit about what you expect here, considering the map.
Yeah, it's a little bit different with Convergence because you're kind of doing two things at once. You're playing a little bit of Domination and then a little bit of Convoy. So what you kind of want to see at the start here, definitely on something like Hala Jala, you're seeing a little bit more. Probably going to see a lot of that Groot and that Penny, depending on what side you start on, just because it's really, really simple to just throw down your walls on the right side ramp, and then you could throw down your spiders on the left side stairs, and they don't really have a choice. They have to push from one or the other, and if they push through the right, they have to get through all of the walls, and if they push through the left, they have to shut down that spider mines, and it's kind of just an iffy push onto the point. Although if you're sitting on attack, they could do the exact same thing. So if you're looking to try and shut down access to the point, that's personally how I would do it. In terms of supports, could be really anything here. A Luna Snow is always good. For something like this, range is kind of a big factor. So possibly another Mantis could come into play. Um, there's a lot of high ground, so something like a Moon Knight and a Punisher would be really good. I've seen Star Lord be played on this map. But anything could really work on this map. Even something like a Spider-Man, just because how many buildings you have to swing from, just kind of allows great movement. And Black Panther is always a great option too, just to get in your back line because there's so many buildings that you can just dive into and just shut the enemy down while they're mid-fight.
Yeah, I do think it'll be interesting to see, alongside, of course, what gets played. I think it'll be interesting to see what can't get played. As last game, especially for the side of LG, I mentioned, I think that they were pretty happy with how the ban phase went. Dinglenut, big penny player, Frequency, big group player. Both of them allowed it to stay on their main champions, and definitely helped them out quite a bit. Their front line very, very stable throughout the entirety of that first game, and we'll obviously again have to give some of that credit to the supports for keeping them alive. Ghost 6 on the Luna had a very big hand in some specific moments in that last series. I do think it'll be interesting to see if either of those tanks get banned away. I know the Penny was protected last game in the middle there, but I do think it wouldn't be too much of a surprise to see one and maybe both of them try and get forced away from the side of LG, make them move on toward their backup characters, but obviously still some other room. You mentioned some strong supports as well. It'll be interesting to see what we go for.
Yeah, I mean, after map one, you're just gonna kind of think, okay, what didn't work in our favor? And so you're gonna try and ban a few things that probably gave you the most grief. But you're also gonna try and protect at the same time what you think is gonna secure you the game. Because both teams are after that game one are gonna see, okay, well, here's what caused the most problems. Here's how we can fix it by banning this hero or banning this hero. We got to protect this hero, and you kind of want to see, how are we going to decide what needs to go, what needs to stay, and especially with a new map, what can we change that we're also kind of that's also just good for us.
As yeah, we are gonna make it on into game number 2 here as the side of Hulk 2. They're gonna ban Loki first. One pick that definitely not weak by any means, but is interesting to see. The side of LG, they're gonna ban Winter Soldier away from Prickly Pear once again. Not gonna allow that one to make it to the protection round. As we will see what gets protected. We saw the side of LG protect, I believe, the Penny last round, so it'll be interesting to see if that's what they want to hold on to going into this one. And considering how it went last round, wouldn't surprise me all that much, but it will indeed be that same Penny Parker protected. On the other side, the protection, we'll see what it goes to. It'll be, once again, the Bruce on that side.
Yeah, we're seeing now that Bruce is protected. If Iron Man doesn't go, that is definitely a very, very strong combo. But as I say that, the Mantis does end up getting banned, so one side of that healing aura does end up going away. We could see a possible Luna Snow ban as well, as they go ahead and decide what to pick. But as Bruce is kind of secured there, they might end up banning. Yep, there goes Iron Man. Not shocking, especially with a protected banner. Though they could end up playing Strange as well. Strange and Banner do make a good pair at the same time. On the side of Hulk 2, we do see that Strange. Spider-Man, like I said, Banner, obviously, to pair the two. A Luna Snow, it looks like they're hovering over Rocket and Black Panther. On the upper side there, we're seeing the same things again. That Penny, that Groot. Now changing over to a Luna Snow, Invisible Woman. They're actually going triple support, 1 DPS to tank on the side of defense. So they're really playing to kind of hold this first point here. Try to secure it for as long as they can. Going into attack now as well. They're going to try and get past that Groot wall on the right side, like I said. They're going to try and get past that Penny Spiders on the left side stairs. With a Squirrel Girl, you can actually ricochet your grenades off of the door frame and possibly hit the Penny Spider Mines. So it would not a bad idea to get away from it, although you could always take the high ground on the left side there as well, kind of get around both the Groot and the Penny, but we'll see what happens here as we get into the game.
What are they like?
Yeah, will be interesting, as you mentioned. One thing I do think worth noting, Psyche, that Black Panther will make it through, so have to keep an eye out on the backline. BP, one of the few characters who has found success in trying to force picks through 3 supports, but chaos breaking out already. It's a Strange teleport trying to force onto the fight. Psyche gets the first one already, finding value. Luna Snow goes down. King Arc's Cloak and Dagger are going to get traded back out as Hulk gonna regroup. Dingle not gonna jump back onto Fireball, though. Hasn't quite noticed, as now it will be a bit of a panic to ensure safety on the back line, but it will be able to regroup, get people healed up as Psyche's BP tries to get the pick there on Namor. Not gonna be able to get the kills, as for the moment, this is just really unfortunate for the attackers here. They are completely disjointed with 3 of their players still stuck from the initial push on the Strange portal, and finally they're gonna get picked out. A lot of lost time there on that attempt.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate because they're also not going to be able to do that again with the Strange Portal now on cooldown. So they're going to have to actually go through both the Groot and the Penny. And at the same time, you're having to deal with 3 Namor turrets. So you kind of have to focus your attention on one thing or another. You know, it has the health of the Ankh, but you're trying to have to deal with, okay, well, I have to look here, and now I have to look over here to deal with this, and then I have to look over here to deal with all 3, and at that point, he has another turret up and ready. But here we go. We're seeing them push past the Groot wall there. Namor gonna try and go up on a little bit of a high ground here as he throws his turrets. The Groot ult does end up coming out a little bit low. We could see the Namor ult. There it comes. Does end up stunning one, but no kill gets secured off of it. Now having to push back through the choke point. The turrets still coming up. Seeing what they can do here. Invisible Woman, both ults come out. If they can try and sit in both of these, the ult from the Punisher is kind of going to have no use because it's just going to have to guess on where the enemy team is. Strange ends up going down. They're trying to just push into it, and out comes the Luna Snow ult. They kind of forced that to come out, actually. I'm not sure if that was necessarily the best thing you wanted to do because at this point you're down a player and you're just using this ult to try and save the rest of your team instead of using it to actually push into sight.
And yet, almost didn't even save everybody. Prickly Pear almost went down due to the Groot walls. And again, Frequency has been finding massive success as he gets a nice ult there with the Penny. Him and Dinglenut are going to clear away 3 players. And Hulk the Bruce, as another wall will come to secure it. And I think that allowing both of these tanks to stay up, definitely a massive mistake here, as potentially the final big one they make in their series. They have a minute 10 left to try and get this point going, or they could be a single tick away from being knocked out here. Bruce gonna go back into the Hulk as he'll look to rejoin his team here. A minute on the clock now. The side of Hulk Tuah has to get something going. Futanari jumping forward, and Jesus fighting on forward with the Strange. They're gonna go in, Cloak and Dagger, trying to stay alive with the Eternal Bond here. They have more ults to go with. Agamotto comes out and will stun Frequency as they can indeed get the kill there. Psyche kills him out. Mad Dog goes down, revived by the Rocket Raccoon, but the Namor ult goes really wide by Mad Dog, finds nothing. Prickly Pear ult gets both supports, as it will be the first point grabbed here, and they finally got the crunch time. 1 minute left from potentially being a tick away from being eliminated, and they're able to pick up the point here and buy themselves a few more minutes and a bit more progress.
Yeah, that was a really unfortunate Namor ult. He had them all grouped up really close together, but accidentally threw it a little far, and it went over top of the point instead of onto it, which kind of shut down any use of that ult at all. I'm not sure if it would have actually mattered, just mainly because there was not many of his team left standing to actually try and commit off of it. But now we're seeing the Hulk ult come out, we're seeing the Invisible Woman ult come out, so does the Rocket ult. At this point, they're just trying to push them back as much as they can. Namor kind of in the mix here. Out comes the Groot ult. It's pretty big, but then again, the Doctor Strange shield can just shut down really anything. Even if they're grouped up together, it's so far in front of it that it just kind of allows them to just do nothing, even with a big ult from Groot. Namor throwing his turrets down at this point. See what they can do. The Groot ult kind of securing it out. He does have Namor ult again. It does go down. It's pretty big, but nothing really ends up happening off of it. They get healed up pretty fast. Not much comes out from the Strange ult as well. Namor now having to go up into the sky to try and get away from the Hulk there, and I'm not really sure what's happening. They're just kind of getting pushed back at this point.
And yeah, the momentum swing here after that first point is really helping out the attacking side of Hulk Tuah. must have heard me calling them out. 1 minute left for the tournament realistically looked over, but they have clutched it out now again, buy themselves more time as they get this second point, as they're finding a lot of success here in these fights. Good ult usage in the last few minutes as well, as Dinglenut gonna get that kill on Prickly Pear. But even if they win this fight, it doesn't really mean that much for the side of LG here, as on the backside they're just farming ults. Prickly Pear 70% already back toward that Punisher ult, as we'll see the fight continue to go in their favor anyway. The Invisible Woman ult comes out, Invisible Boundary gonna hold them up for a little bit. Groot ult comes out, his little goodness gonna take down one, Ghost 6 takes down another, and even though Hulk Tuah losing out on some here, they are gonna continue it. Double support ult comes out. I think at the Invisible Woman ult a little bit too far back to get super good value, as we'll see HP bars continue to bleed out. Prickly Pear 95% on the Punisher, as we'll see for the moment danger on the backside. Now it's going to be another Eternal Bond Spider Sweeper. Prickly Pear drops his ult. Luna Snow ult stacking out. Moon Knight Hand of Conchu trying to kill Prickly Pear, but they won't be able to take him down, as the Luna Snow ult just a little bit too much healing by the time they got away. As for the moment, kiting forward, Agamotto comes out. They will get a little bit of stuns on the back line. Mad Dog, Viclean, both gonna live it out. No, Viclean does not live it away. Dinglenut gets one. Rez comes out now, as Viclean gonna get picked back up by the Adam Warlock, is on the backside. Through ult walls. Frequency 1, Frequency 2. Frequency eliminates the backline by himself, and it is good work there. Finally, the side of LG were able to stop the momentum.
Yeah, this is a really, really hard point to push past, especially this initial choke point, because this just goes from one choke to the other. You're having to try and shut them down in multiple places, and when you have something like a Adam Warlock to try and take away some of those deaths, it becomes really, really hard to try and push past this team, especially with something like a Moon Knight on high ground, trying to just do as much pick damage as you can. The choke point kind of forces everybody into one big cluster, which is really good for Moon Knight, because he doesn't even need to use his arms. He just kind of ends up throwing his main just right click into the enemy, and it just bounces off of them anyways, just because of how clustered up they are.
As, yeah, we see Budanari back on the backside. Unfortunately, gonna get stunned out there. Good net by the Penny. Go for one. Cloak on the backside. Gonna get taken down by it as well. Goes for two. Dinglenut finding some good success here. Takes down Jesus for his third of the fight. As a nice triple there to slow them down. 20 seconds on the clock, as Hulk Tuah potentially looking at an end to the round. But pretty good success here. It went from looking like they weren't even gonna get a tick on the first point to now midway through the final part. 10 seconds left. We'll see if they can regroup. A strange portal is gonna come in. We'll see him come out now. Comes in. Eye of Agamotto will find a couple stuns here, as now Frequency going to be in danger. Luna Snow comes out now. The Punisher going to come in down. Raining of fire with the final judgment, as everybody stacking it in. Hand of Conchu. Everybody stacking everything. Invisible Boundary for all the healing. Trying to keep everything up. Everybody's HP fluctuating up and down as support ults bleeding away. Feast of the Abyss on the backside. Venom causing some chaos. Prickly Pear goes down to the Spider Sweeper, but he's going to get revived by the Rocket. Jesus takes down Viclean. Adam Warlock ult comes in. Picks up one. Picks up two, as Frequency going to take a lot of damage here, bleeding out, but the Luna Snow going to keep him alive along with the Cloak and Dagger. Prickly Pear takes down Dinglenut, rezzed again by the Adam Warlock ult. Little Godness keeping everybody alive with the Soul Bond, healing everybody up with the Perseverance, as for the moment they're defending and staying alive. Budanari on the backside with a Venom dive, won't be able to get anybody down, as he himself is bleeding quite low, but still no goes down. Little Godness going to be able to get that kill. Dinglenut kills Prickly Pear with the trap. Mad Dog gets one. Cloak and Dagger ult stacks in. Frequency, Agamotto from Jesus, but he's bled away by the Eternal Bond. Groot picks up the kill with Divine Strike, and they will finally stop them 56.5 meters in at the end of their time, as LG still a chance to eliminate the opposition.
Yeah, they didn't really seem to stray too far from the triple support 1 DPS to tanks meta there. Especially with something like Moon Knight, the amount of damage that he can output is just more than enough to make up for the loss in DPS, especially with something as good as a Groot and a Penny. They have really two really heavy hitting tanks in the front line. Moon Knight going for the pick damage when they're all clustered up together, and then the 3 supports keeping all of them alive. They never really died, because even when they did, the Adam Warlock seemed to always have his ult to try and put them back into that fight, and it more than did enough to keep them in the fights long enough enough to actually secure that round there and keep them from getting even further. Even with the strange portal and every ult, they were able to stop them in their tracks, try to hold them down there for as long as they could. You have something, you know, as strong as 3 ults come out. We saw the Venom ult, we saw the Strange ult, as well as the Luna ult, kind of just holding them down as long as possible, but it wasn't really enough because that Adam Warlock ult came out, brought them back for, brought them back from the dead, and it was just another fight over and over again until they ended up winning that round there and stopped them from pushing it any further.
3, 2,
As, yeah, we're getting things set back up to go in for this next round. As we'll see the setup coming in from the defense again. If the attacking side of LG can find good success here, they still take the map this round and will be able to knock the opponents out on their way to the semifinals. But for the moment, we'll just have to see how they're able to do. As for the moment, a decent stop here. The Groot Wall's, of course, going to do a good job of blocking any one pathway. As we will see ult charge already. Prickly Pear, 75% to the final judgment. This first fight could end with a sour taste for the attacking LG. 85-90% for the Punisher. Frequency low HP as Prickly Pear has the ultimate available. It's coming out, is already going to rip it on. Going to try and spray in through the Groot Wall's. Frequency backing away. Viclean in danger as well. Dinglenut is shredded by the Punisher. And Prickly Pear gonna get a nice pick there. Frequency trying to push out, but will be forced back for the moment as the team is a little bit split here. Groot Wall's trying to re-blind them, but Godness gonna go down on the Adam Warlock, and they continue to bleed players away. Looks like they are gonna try and get out to this back side as Frequency at this point just go off the map to preserve the ult charge, but he's gonna try and run back over to rejoin his team and healers, but ends up just donating even more ult charge, staggers himself for a bit longer.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily sure what the Star-Lord is doing here. He was going for a little bit of pick. He was ending up switching their attention away, at least the backline's attention away, as the tanks were still forced up to push back the front line there. But Star-Lord, not necessarily the best pick for a comp like this. We're seeing, you know, the Punisher just sitting on his turret there, and even with the pick damage from the Star-Lord, didn't even get him to turn his head in the slightest. So I'm not necessarily sure what this pick is doing for their team, but we could see a possible switch again.
Yeah, Adam's gonna pick himself up with his nest on the passive, but Agamotto comes out trapped in the Groot Wall maze, and it's gonna be another sweep here as Mad Dog on the Star-Lord is just spraying some gunfire at long range from the side as he's trying to farm ult, I suppose, but Mad Dog has felt a little lost in this round on the side there, as you mentioned.
Yeah, going for that pick damage, it's not necessarily the worst play, because again, like I said, it turns their attention away. But with something as weak as a Star-Lord at range, it doesn't really do enough damage to actually get their attention because they don't really care about where it's coming from because it's just easily getting healed by their healers. But he does have his ult now, probably going to go for a backline push, hopefully catch them off guard. Doesn't seem to be firing to get away from them here. But here comes the ult. Let's see what he can do with it. I'm assuming we're going to see, yep, the Luna ult to counter it completely. Not really much you can do there. It did get them to turn around and use the Luna ult, but at this point, with only a few seconds left on the clock, they're going to have to change something here to get it to work.
Invisible bound comes out.
I'm assuming he's just going to die immediately as he comes out of it, but yeah, there he goes. Now we're seeing, well, he does get res once again by the Adam ult. They're trying to hold this fight as long as they can, but they're doing a really, really good job of holding this point, even with the amount of res coming out. The Groot ult does get one. They're still gathered up, but the Polka Dagger ult is keeping them alive at this point, and the rest of them are going to slowly start to trickle down here. See what they can do. The Adam Warlock does end up going down. It's just the tanks and the Invisible Woman, but I don't think it's going to matter. I think they're, at this point, out of time.
Yeah, I'd anticipate maybe a Doctor Strange swap and try and force a teleport in. I'm not sure that you can get to point in any other way. We'll see what they want to do with it, as Dinglenut is going to swap over to the Doctor Strange. We'll see if they can get it in time. 1 second on the clock. They're not going to get it. Tried to get it set up, but ends up just being a little bit slow, as unfortunately for the side of LG, they're going to find just as unsuccessful of a round as it looked like Hulk Tuah were going to have before that final minute on their clock, and it's going to be a 2-0 on the map, as we're going to get sent to game number 3.
Yeah, that was I I'm not necessarily sure what happened there. But Hulk 2 has seemed to just kind of flip on their heads and just started securing win after win at this point. They got the cart really far using literally like nothing but their fists. And then they had the Punisher as pick damage. The tanks in the front line were just pushing them back. The Hulk was there, just kind of forcing everybody back away from the cart on attack. And then when they just switched to defense, the Punisher was just getting so much utility out of the choke points that he could fire from. They weren't really focusing down his turret. And at the start there, he got from 0 to 75% ult just firing into a single choke point. So I'm not necessarily sure what they need to change going into map 3 here. They are going to a full-on payload map, so we're going to see what they can do here without a point to push. Or without a point to secure at first. They could just push this all the way to the end, but we will see what happens. We'll see what they change. We may see a few different bans come out as well, but we are going to get on to, I believe, Yggdrasgard and the Yggdrasil path.
As we move our way over to our first game 3 streamed before every series gets to at least game 3, we're gonna bounce things over. Hopefully, no more than a 2 or 3 minute break. We'll be back at game number 3 here in the final quarterfinal. Don't go anywhere. See you just in a minute.
Right. Well, welcome back, everybody. We are going to get into map 3 here, so we're gonna see we're gonna see what ends up happening. I'm personally hoping to. I was personally hoping to see this happen, mainly because it's important to have games that don't end up just blowing over your head in 5 minutes. It's nice to see something that happens more fair, a little bit more balanced. See them play to their strengths, see them play to their weaknesses as well. But we are going to get into map 3 here shortly. So, any predictions? I've done the predictions so far. What about you? What are your predictions?
I'd say I do think the first thing I have got to mention is I cannot imagine Penny and Gru getting left unbanned again. Game 1, Game 2, there was no emphasis on that tank role, but despite that last round going poorly for the side of LG, I cannot see Dinglenut and Frequency going even once again onto their Penny and Gru. On that note, if Penny and Groot don't get banned, I see almost zero world that they don't play it unless there's some other required combo, like we let Hulk Iron Man into the game or whatever the case may be. But Other than that, I do think we'll see pretty much the same thing we've been seeing. We're going to see the Winter Soldier get banned away from Prickly Pear with LG's first band. We'll see Penny protected if it's not banned in the first round, which I feel like it should be an indicator to Hulk Tuah that the Penny is a good thing to ban away. Dinglenut has caused pure chaos with it the entire series, and the other character, the one they're all hovering there, the Groot, definitely causing a lot of chaos. Spider-Man, the hover for the opposition side this game.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily sure what they're going to end up playing on Yggdrasil Path, mainly because the Groot would probably end up working a little better, but you'd probably only play Penny on defense, but as I say that, the Groot ends up getting banned, like you said. There goes the Bucky as well. Possibly going to see the Penny get banned if she doesn't get safeguarded. But we'll see what ends up happening, mainly because there's the Penny safeguard. We're seeing, a Penny be used on attack. I'm not sure what you can get much out of her util other than the stun and the Spider-Man you can throw down, but the actual spider nest, probably a little bit harder to play on attack. The rocket does get safeguarded from Hulk 2's side there. See what they're going to end up banning for their second pick here. Wonder what it will be as they go ahead and decide. There goes the Mantis once more. And then
yeah, it'll be interesting. What a final ban here will be interesting. It'll be the Punisher. It's been causing him a little bit of chaos throughout the series, so they're just gonna ban both of these characters away. Prickly Pear able to get a lot of Punisher value again. We saw that first fight was taken away by LG because that Punisher ult came out so damn early, but we'll see a little bit of a swap here coming out from LG. In the past, it's been Frequency and Dingle on the tank, but with the Groot being gone, instead of putting Frequency on a Magneto or a Doctor... No, they are putting Magneto on a Doctor... or Frequency on a Doctor Strange. It looks like they might just be going in a 3-tank game here, as that'll definitely be an interesting one to see. We'll see what their final champs are when they lock them in a moment. On the other side, though, it's a little bit of a standard 2-on-3 that we've been seeing. Jesus on the Strange, Budanari on the Magneto, Prickly Pear without Winter Soldier or the Punisher. He's gonna go over to the next aim character, which is aiming at Onks, Moon Knight on a line, then Cloak and Dagger, Luna Snow, Rocket Raccoon, all gonna be the support choices. Whereas again, back for LG, final comp actually locked in. It's going to be Mono Tank with Dinglenut's Penny. Then they're running Namor Hela with a Loki, Cloak and Dagger, Luna Snow support core. Very interesting to go solo tank here on the defense.
Yeah, but I mean, for those first two matches, Loki was actually the first one to be banned. So now we're going to go ahead and see what LG can actually do with a Loki on their team here. They did end up putting Frequency on DPS, so the only thing that I have in their front line is the Penny, and Penny is about to go down here, try to keep up as long as they can by the support, but I'm not sure how well Penny can do in the front line. Gonna try and keep them down as long as they can here, but we are seeing a little bit of a high ground play from the Hela there. Hela did actually get nerfed for this season, not by much, but a little bit that it could matter. We're seeing now just the Penny still holding that front line. There goes the Spider Nest in the back line there. Gonna try and keep them down as long as they can. Hold down the Spider Nest just with their body alone. The Moon Knight does end up getting Frequency there up on high ground, so the support's just kind of focusing the Penny because that's all they have in the front line there.
Yeah, they are going to change over this Frequency over to the Strange. They're going to swap off of that old comp, move back on to a more standard comp. As the 2-1-3 going to get relocked in. Moon Knight ult comes out there, Hand of Khonshu. Prickly Pear just buys them some time, buys them some space. They're going to go over, kill the Loki, back up, kill the Namor. It's going to be a clean wipe there by the attacking side of Hulk Tuah. And a bit of a comp change, as mentioned, for the opposition, as they're going to back up with a little bit more defense with the shield tank.
Yeah. You do have that shield and the Penny ult now ready to be used there. They're kind of just holding down this point as long as they can, but I have a feeling that Spider Nest isn't going to be alive for much longer. And here comes the Magneto ult, probably going to send it into the backline there. Doesn't end up getting anybody. So Loki sends down his clones, see what he can do here. Penny just kind of standing in both of the Cloak's dagger ults. That was a huge Khonshu there in the backline. both supports go down, although here comes the Vishanti's power here. The Magneto using his body to protect the Luna, and Luna ends up using her ult to save herself there. I have never seen that. You could have just put the shield on her, but no, he used his body to protect her, probably while it was on cooldown. That was a very interesting play there from Magneto.
So yeah, frontline Jesus is going to get the kill on to Loki with the ultimate. Luna Snow drops the ult to try and save, but ends up being a little bit slow here in the attack. Completely unstopped this round, as despite how map 1 and some of map 2 look, this is going completely in favor of Hulk. Tuah Moon Knight ult onto the backline now as Prickly Pear and Mad Dog looking for value. Amplifier comes out from the rocket. Now King Arc trying to get some value, but goes down immediately as Jesus flying up, trying to stay safe from Dinglenut, but Mad Dog gonna join the pile of dead. Magneto ult gonna aim, gonna just put damage onto Dinglenut, try and get that kill onto the Penny, and they will get it, and maybe just in time. Loki gets here to try and get the save, but Loki's gonna go down, which will leave Penny without that much support. Cloak and Dagger makes it, and able to stall for just long enough. Dinglenut trying to get back, finally gonna go down, but Frequency back to buy some time frontline. Luna goes down, Magneto goes down, Frequency trying to hold the front, but now is waiting for some healing to get over. Eternal Bond from the Cloak and Dagger to make this hallway impassable. Double stacked there, and finally they're gonna get this to the last few meters here, and that'll be the second point, and they're gonna have 4.5 minutes on the game clock to try and get this third point.
Yeah, again, during that last fight, we saw the body block from the Magneto. This man has just been using his body for everything at this point. He actually trapped the Penny in the back room with the heal pack, not letting her out, just based on standing in the doorway, kind of holding them back as long as they can. As I talk about this, the Hulk Tuah's, never mind, here comes. Oh, the Luna ult does end up securing it though, keeps the team alive, keeping it away from the Doctor Strange ult there. Gonna try and push back as long as they can here. Penny does end up switching onto Magneto, but out comes the Khonshu ult. Doesn't secure anything, but it does push LG's team back. Doctor Strange now in the front line. Hulk Tuah's Luna ult does come out. We see the Khonshu go and get the Cloak and Dagger in the background, but the rocket does end up reviving them there. Now down a member, out comes the Magneto ult, gonna try and aim for the back line. The Strange does get a good block with his shield there. Magneto just kind of sitting in the front line. His health is going down a little bit here, but out comes all of the healing. We could see the Magneto ult, here it comes. Aiming for the back line, but again, whoop, right around the shield. Wow, the Strange did not have his fly to block. The Magneto ult does end up getting 2 in the backline at this point. Now they're just going to keep walking forward through the shields. The melee going to go straight through the shields. That was a well-placed Magneto ult. Kind of just secured them that choke point at this point. That was well played.
And yeah, that was crazy by Dinglenut. Swapped off the Penny, has a front man trying to block him, front and center, double clutches midair, gets it over the defender, gets it straight onto the back line, is now behind them. They're gonna have a Doctor Strange portaling in, Chaos from the top line, Budinari on the Hulk, trying to jump in, go aggressive. Now it's gonna be an amplifier to buy him time. Moon Knight trying to get as much damage in as they can. Now Doctor Strange goes high, Eternal Bond on point though. Cloak and Dagger are gonna keep everybody alive for just a little bit longer. Mad Dog on the respawn coming out. Hand of Khonshu now stacking in from Prickly Pear. Not able to find a player with the ult itself, but is going to get the quick kill onto Viclean. As for the defense now, Mad Dog returning to the fight, has his own ult. Agamotto comes out, not going to find much. Hand of Khonshu comes out now, finding just a little bit of damage. Not the best placement on it though to get any kills. As Luna Snow ult now going to get stacked on. Agamotto goes for 4. Massive stun on the back line. They're going to de-Hulk the Hulk, kill out Fireballs Luna, and the fight looks good for the moment. Psylocke and Bruce trying to run away as the Doctor Stranges hold shields up at each other. Jesus goes down. It's a really rough stagger for them with 1:40 left on the clock.
Yeah, the Magneto ult gonna come out soon enough in this next fight. Probably gonna see the Loki ult as well, so that's just another ult. But the Psylocke, there is a Psylocke now with ult. Could possibly go for the backline, rush there with her ult, see what they can shut down. The Luna ult out of commission could actually make the Psylocke ult well used, depending on how many they get in the radius there, and if they can end up getting around them. It seems like they're gonna try and go for it now. Trying to get into the back line here. There it goes. See what they can get with it. The Loki does end up securing the save on himself, but the Luna goes down. Here comes the Magneto ult. It actually gets shut down. They put enough damage into it to get rid of the ult completely before he can throw it. The second Psylocke ult comes out, but it doesn't end up getting anybody. And at this point, now it's just Magneto in the front line trying to shut them down as long as they can, but the Hulk is just pushing the Magneto around.
As, yeah, it will be Dingle Nut going down on the Magneto. Ghost 6, Luna's going to join him as Loki trying to buy time, trying to heal everybody up. Ends up fake AFKing like he's a clone, as it won't be able to live him out for long. As we will see Frequency and Viclean Eternal Bond stacking up Ghost 6 in the area as well. They're going to have a chance here to try and restall. King Art goes out, Agamotto comes out, Frequency going to block it away, going to try and keep his support alive. Dingle Nut as well, looking to stay alive. Little Godness going to take down one, Psylocke going to go down, Amplifier runs out. It's a few players here for the moment. Is Iron Man going to come out from Prickly Pear, as now we're going to see Frequency for 1, Frequency for 2, Mad Dog gets 1. Just need to stall 7 seconds now, but here comes Prickly Pear. Gamma Iron Man gets absolutely nothing. Shut down 108.5 meters. They are inches from the end, but the round goes shy. Once again, a 2-point lead for Hulk Tuah, and LG, they have to get to basically the end of the 3rd point, just not all the way there, and they will, for the 2nd time, have a chance to take this series, knock out Hulk Tuah, and move themselves to the semis.
Yeah, we did see this last game, though, with Hulk Tuah. They got relatively far and then just ended up shutting down LG from the start. Didn't really give them any room to go any further. We could possibly see that again from Hulk Tuah. We're seeing the triple team up here, the Banner, the Iron Man, and the Strange, and then the triple support. So we're seeing that 2-3-1 again. In terms of LG's team here, one hasn't picked yet, but we're seeing the Magneto and the Strange again. 2 supports at the start here. Ghost could possibly make that 3 supports or 2 DPS, making it a 2-2-2. Does end up going for the Scarlet pick, seeing a 2-2-2 from them. Scarlet, not a bad choice, especially for the comp that they're running. The Banner just kind of going to be in their face the whole time, and something simple as a point-and-click adventure game on the Iron Man, you don't really need to aim too much, because if he gets anywhere near within your range, it's going to be a really easy shutdown as long as you can keep focused.
3, 2, 1.
As, yeah, we get the 2nd round here started up in map 3. Again, do or die realistically for both teams here as they try and find their spot into the semi-final. As we'll see it already, the Gamma Hulk coming out once again. Saw it at the end there as Prickly Pear gonna take 1, take 2, and that's the power it has. It can force some kills very, very quickly, as it will be able to get 2 before going down. Jesus now gonna join the dead pool, as it will be a pretty long run back for him, as we'll see it for the moment. Frequency trying to move forward and over onto the Moon Knight off of the tank roll, as Mad Dog gonna pick up the spot on the alt tank there, as Mad Dog moving very far forward, but has the support to back him up, as we will see Iron Man returning back to the fight, trying to find one of these weaker targets to aim at, putting the DPS on both tanks. Mad Dog maybe in danger here. Shield goes up, gonna go into the air, shielding once again, gets healing and stays alive. On the side, Frequency and Ghost 6 forced to regroup as Budanari, low HP. It might get Hulk here, as indeed he will. Mad Dog very low as well, gonna get healed back up. Eternal Bond coming out now for the defensive side of Hulk Tuah, has the nice hand of Concho on the backside. Kills 1, kills 2, kills the entire support line. Frequency goes down afterward. 1 gets revived, but it's too little too late. The hand of Concho killed the entirety of Hulk Tuah's support line, and that is going to be the fight cleanly taken there. 5 minutes to get going.
Yeah, even with the original takedown from the Iron Man on 2 of LG's team, they were able to keep pushing forward. They were able to keep that momentum going. But right now, they're just trying to push them back as much as they can. Don't allow them to gain any space. We could see the Magneto ult come out, trying to get that shield down so he has the room to do it. Here comes the Magneto ult. Kind of blocked by the bridge there. A real unfortunate place to put that ult. The Moon Knight does end up getting 1, but is traded off by the Iron Man now. Gonna try and take as many picks as he can with that gamma boosted damage there, kind of being held around the corner at this point. The supports doing their job well, keeping the rest of the team alive. That Iron Man just kind of ignoring everybody else and going for the back line there. Does end up getting one.
Oh!
Out comes the Strange ult, gets 2 in the back. Ends up shutting them down. This is probably going to be a good amount of movement to try and get close to the second point here. Good staggers on one support. It's now just the Rocket. See if they can stagger them even more. The Cloak and Dagger is there too. Going to try and keep them out of this as long as they can. But it seems like they're going to let him get away. That's shocking. They did not push into the Rocket to try and stagger. They actually just let him get out when he close.
Yeah, the Eternal Bond coming out now, stacking with the Luna ult. Double support ult is going to be overlaid with a Moon Knight ult, which can't quite get through. Quickly pair for 2 here, as for the moment, attacking side of LG are trying to force out, as Budanari on the backside, he's a little bit too aggressive. He is going to get bruised here. We'll see if they can close him out before he gets back to his full healing line, as they try and take him down on the side. His healers are pushing up. They do get that kill, but they are traded out for Dingle Nut, as Mad Dog trying to get back to his team now. Doctor Strange trying to hold himself with the field of the Seraphim, and he will indeed get around that last corner. Back up on the aggro now, as they look to push in 3 minutes again to get the second point. Look at another 1.5 to 2 minutes for that final shove, as Prickly Pear kills out Frequency. Amplifier gonna get insta-used by the side of King Arc. Eternal Bond from Viclean, trying to keep everybody on his team nice and healthy throughout the ult, but now it's a maximum pulse. Misses out, just barely not gonna get any kills there, as now Agamotto comes out. It hits just about everybody, as 1, 2, 3 go down, 4 go down. Jesus is gonna follow them into the pool, and now it's Bruce Banner v6. Budanari just stalling for time at this point, as Hulk, fortunately, one of the nice characters for it, as he is able to stop it twice, but they are going to go down. That's going to be the point almost assured here, as now we are 1 point away from LG or Hulk Tuah being knocked out.
Yeah, they're going to get, let's see here, a little under 4 minutes in time to push this to basically the end to secure game 3 here. The only ults in the game right now are Doctor Strange from Hulk Tuah, and LG has Magneto ult, but gonna try and shut down the shield, maybe go for a Magneto ult here as they group up at the choke point. Hulk now going to transition into Banner here, gonna see if they can't secure it. They cannot as he gets away from it. The healing is too strong. They are grouped up. We could possibly see the Magneto go for the ult here. Pushing up at the front line, but out comes the Cloak and Dagger ult. Gonna go down as long as they can, and here comes the Strange ult, gets 2. The Cloak and Dagger gets 2 with their ult, shutting them down. At this point, it's just the Magneto. Gonna stall for as long as he can, push them back. Doesn't really have his shield to keep that away. That was a well-placed ult there. Basically just gave them the point here. Gonna have that timer start to tick down. But now with 4 ults on LG's side and only 1 from Hulk Tuah, they're going to have to figure out what they can do here. The Luna ult now charged to try and keep that push down to a minimum. We're going to see what happens now as they go into this team fight once again.
As yeah, I'm a bit hesitant to call that last fight a success. If we look at the ultimate economy, it's Fireball has that Luna Snow ult for the side of Hulk Tuah, as Iron Man ult available as well. Eternal Bond comes out, Luna Snow ult comes out, Prickly Pear, the one player who can maybe force find a kill here at the top of the support ults. Magneto ults come out as the Iron Man ult is eaten away, I believe, by the Magneto ult, as it will see for the moment. Did the Invisible Woman ult come out now? Jesus pushing on forward, but the Invisible Woman ult keeping everybody alive. Frequency spraying damage on in. Agamotto comes out, finds multiple on the back line. Dingle Nut kills the Rocket. Now Jesus goes down. There's both supports follow after. All 3 supports are down, and a tank. Budanari gonna get D-Hulk. Bruce Banner gonna go down. 1:45 now as the attacking side of LG try to push forward. They don't have ults to work with, but neither does the other side. Agamotto and Eternal Bond are on the way up in the 90s for the moment, as Hulk is on his way out as well. Prickly Pear gonna look for some value on the Gamma here in a moment, as Iron Man stacking around. Cloak and Dagger looking for some flank value as well, as Psyche moving over. Eternal Bond gonna come in. Agamotto comes out, but it's gonna get blocked away. Now Frequency goes down to it, but Scarlet Witch able to get away for the moment. Now Iron Man gonna get some damage in, but Mad Dog burns him away. Jesus gets the kill onto the Invisible Woman. Ghost 6 zoned away on the backline. Magneto and Strange are gonna fall as 1:10 on the clock, and it's 1 fight territory for either side.
Delicious.
the Stranges have been absolutely securing these team fights at this point. They just keep
Only 60
going for the
seconds left.
backline with their ults and just shutting them down, keeping the supports away. But the Strange now going to go for a portal here with 50 seconds left on the clock. They could go for a backline, but at this point, with how long it's been since they've seen them, it can be expected that they're going to portal. They're going straight onto site here. Going to try and dive this point, see what they can do here. Iron Man gets one, Iron Man gets two, traded off by the Scarlet Witch. Gets frozen, but here comes the Iron Man ult. It doesn't end up getting anybody, but the Iron Man does get revived by the Rocket there, using his Gamma to try and shut them down even further. The Hulk has his ult to stall this out a little bit more. Down goes the Iron Man. Here comes the Hulk ult. We're going to see the Magneto ult come out as well. Goes for the Luna, but here comes the Luna ult. They're trying to hold this point for as long as they can.
As Scarlet Witch is going to get blocked away by the Doctor Strange shield is for the moment. Budenari on the side. Frequency in danger. Luna Snow holding everybody up for the moment, but Luna Snow going to get burned away. Mad Dog for 1, Mad Dog for 2. Rocket Raccoon goes down, but now they're going to lose the Invisible Woman. Iron Man back with the Gamma Power. Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2. Budenari picks up the kills. 0 seconds left. Overtime alive. Vicline now trying to push on forward. Moon Knight as well. Hand of Khonshu available, but he has no time. He has to touch it. He cannot make it. 3-2 Hulk to the reverse sweep in the BO3, and despite 3 GMs on the roster, LG fall in the quarterfinals.
That was a very close game. We saw both sides power through each other's defenses there. They were just able to get through that. Iron Man, absolutely MVP, made a huge difference. 38 kills on the scoreboard there. Most kills in the game, most damage in the game with 34,000. What a player. Absolute difference maker for this game. You know, you see it, you see the banner get banned in the first game, you see the banner get banned in the second, and then the third, he's left alone, and you just see the banner, the Strange, and the Iron Man come through and just shut down your entire team. Even with 3 Grandmasters, there's not much you can do against the power of that team up. That, along with 3 supports, played very well, kept them alive as long as they could. Definitely an earned victory on the side of Hulk Tuah.
So yeah, that will be the BO3 cleaned up. It looked so rough after that first map, and the first really 3 minutes of the next map, it looked like the story of the series was good as done, but locked in, moved the comps on over, and especially in the last map, the last round, at the hands of the Iron Man, Prickly Pear deserved MVP for the extreme performance, not just across that one round, but the map, but really on that Gamma Iron Man, able to find a ton of value, consistently getting multiple opening picks. Definitely shows the power of that Gamma Iron Man is definitely still alive in Season 1, as we'll see if the emphasis shifts at all, especially in Hulk 2 matches throughout semifinals and or potentially finals. But for the moment, that's going to be all of the quarterfinals in the book.
Yeah, moving on. Moving on to the semis, we are going to send off here, go for a little bit of a break as we go and prepare for the semis. Very well played from both sides. We will see you all shortly for the semis as we go into a best of 5 bracket.